Hey everybody, it's Ben here, and I am using this Tesla small drive unit rear to convert a 76 VW bus to electric, but I've got a problem and it's right here. The issue is that this is a proprietary connection. I have some high voltage cables around, but they're just kind of your typical style bolt through. This requires something a little bit different, and then it also has some fasteners to hold it in place with the O-ring and everything else. I've ordered one of those from a salvage yard, but my shipment got delayed, so I'm going to have to wait longer. And in the meantime, I am going to do some of the other wiring for the project. So what I have here is a diagram for the small drive unit high voltage contactor wiring. So this is all stuff that I need to hook up the Tesla small drive unit controlled with the Open Inverter board. This is very typical type of connections. You need battery pack, high voltage contactor, pre-charge relay, 12 volt battery, and connect everything together up to the electric motor. So if we take a look here, I'm going to be testing this with a 24 volt battery pack. So I actually have two 24 volt battery packs here to make a total of 48 volts. These were some A123 cell modules out of our old high motion plug-in Prius conversion. This disconnect is also from that. Typically, a disconnect is in the middle of a battery pack, so it takes it from high voltage, let's say 400 volts, down to 200 volts when you pull the disconnect. So I'm just doing that here, even though it's not nearly as important with just a 48 volt setup. This is the negative side. This is the positive side, 24, 24, 48 volts. Then coming off of our battery pack, we can follow our cable over to a high voltage fuse and going through there to our positive contactor. Note that the positive contactor, this is a type that is designed to carry high current, high voltage. So when I'm actually using all this, I will be using this contactor. And then besides the contactor, we have a pre-charge relay, which again has to be able to handle high voltage, and a resistor. So when you turn the system on, the Open Inverter board is going to turn on that pre-charge relay, which will route power through that pre-charge resistor, and basically bypassing the contactor, and then go to the inverter and back and complete the circuit. And it does that so that there's not that sudden inrush current, which could damage capacitors in the inverter. So the contactor and that pre-charge relay, those are both controlled by the Open Inverter board. So those aren't going to do anything right now because I do not have our inverter plugged in yet. I do have this very nice the low voltage harness here, and I do have a few things hooked up, 12 volt power, 12 volt ground, and I do have the wires run over to the pre-charge relay, for example. After the positive side contactor here, the power would go to the motor. So let's just pretend we've got that in there. So power from the battery, high voltage fuse, pre-charge contactor to the inverter and the motor, and then to the negative contactor, and then back to the negative side of the battery pack. So that's just the very basics of the high voltage side. For the low voltage side, over here, I've got just a plain 12 volt battery. It's got a 12 volt fuse right away, and then it's going to a key switch that's just represented in this case with this simple on-off DC switch, but that would be controlled by literally turning the key to on in the car when the conversion is all done. This does also have a ground on it because it's a light up switch, so I just need to have that there. Our key switch is connected to a couple of things. You can see I've got a not a wire nut, but a Wago lever nut connector. These things are great. They're just spring-loaded, and so it makes it very, very easy to add or remove a wire. So it's great for prototyping. After the first time I ever saw these things, I'm like, oh, these are fantastic. I should just use these for everything. Super great when you're working on stuff like this where you need to just be able to easily add or remove a wire, and they've got pretty good current rating and everything on them as well. So in this case, it's kind of acting like a little positive bus bar. And if we look on our diagram down here, that switched power is going to the pre-charge relay. It's going to the coil on the positive contactor. It is going to power on the coil on the negative contactor. And even though the high voltage positive contactor here is getting 12 volt positive power, it's not going to turn on because the one of the wires back to that low voltage connection to the inverter, that's actually going to switch the power on and off on the negative side, and the logic is going to take care of that. So we've got a couple different things all coming off of that ignition switch. And one of those is the pre-charge. So right away we'll get some power going through that pre-charge resistor, pre-charge everything up. And then it's going to be the logic board and the programming on it that's going to say when to turn the positive contactor on and the pre-charge back off. But also right at this moment, the negative contactor, that is just switched on and off with the key switch. So if I flip this on and off, I can actually hear the click on this turning on and off, and I could put my multimeter across here for continuity, show you how that works. But it's just a switch, it's just open or closed. So that's just the basics. I'll still need to add a forward and reverse switch and a few other things, but we don't need those quite yet. Another thing I am going to need, though, is a throttle. So let's take a look at how that works. This is a Hall Effect Throttle. It's a little cheapy one. It's just something that'd be used on like a basic little electric scooter, something like that. Typically, these would have 3 wires for the Hall sensor. Now this one also has a switch on it, so it has 2 wires for that. And I already have those kind of figured out and labeled here. But this one is a thumb throttle. So what you do is you have this mounted on a handlebar, and you press this and it rotates. Now what's neat about Hall Effect is that essentially it's a type of a sensor that you give it voltage and the output voltage will change based on how it's affected by a magnet. So essentially in this rotating part, there's a little magnet inside there. The Hall Effect sensor is still, the magnet moves past it. Typically these are 5 volts, so you feed it 5 volts, and then depending on the position of that magnet, you get somewhere between 0 and 5 volts as an output. And what's kind of neat about that is it's contactless, it's touchless, so it doesn't wear out, so they're real nice and reliable, as opposed to something like, there are also throttles that they just use a potentiometer. So it's a resistance signal, and a lot of times those are 0 to 5 kilo ohm resistance signals. And that's like what I used back in my old electric Geo Metro, and it worked fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But Hall Effect is kind of improved in a lot of ways. So this would be like 0 to 5 kilo ohm. This would be 0 to 5 volts. So I have 3 wires here, red, black, and green. In this case, green is not ground. That is the signal. The black and red are positive and negative 5 volt. Now, I don't actually have 5 volts for my setup here. I just have a 12 volt battery. But what I can do is I do have a little power board here. This will take in 12 volts and put out 5 volts. So I can connect this up, get my 5 volts, and then by changing the throttle on that signal wire, I should see a changing voltage. Power in, power out. Okay, so now I'm using a pair of test leads on the output of the board, going to my voltmeter with it set to DC volts. And then on the input side, I'll just connect a 12-volt battery off camera here. And we can see that there's a LED that comes on, shows that it's working. And I bumped my multimeter connection. There we go. So now the board is taking 12 volts in, putting 5.16 volts out, and this is adjustable. So if we go, you know what, that's a little higher than I want, put a little screwdriver on here and just adjust it till you get it where you want. It's an adjustable board. And let's say right there is good. So we know we're getting 5 volts out, but what's actually coming out of the signal wire? First of all, that's voltage. So we need 2 wires because voltage is all about the difference between 2 things. So I think I'll start off. I'll leave the positive out connected, and I'm going to disconnect the negative out, because now what we'll be doing is measuring the difference between that positive 5 volts out and whatever our signal is. And it's saying 414. Now I've got our throttle here, and let's see what happens when I press the throttle. And if I go all the way down, it doesn't get to 0, it's still about 3/4 of a volt. All the way up, not quite 5. All the way down, not quite 0. So essentially with the throttle, there's kind of room on the top end and the bottom end, so that the inverter knows that you're all the way on or all the way off. Here's our low voltage connector, and it's got this nice wiring coming off of it, all labeled, which is very much appreciated. But then also I do have a pinout. So if we look at this, we can see, for example, accelerator signal. So that is where that signal wire from my throttle here is going. Pin 8, it's a green wire. Now also on here, I have accelerator +5 and accelerator ground. So what I was doing with this little board here is just because is just as a demo. You know, I don't actually need that. That 5 volt positive and negative is actually provided right off of the Open Inverter board. And then we've got some other things here too that I don't have hooked up yet. Brake signal, brake light switch, cruise control. So a couple other pretty cool things here too. So once I get this all hooked up, I'm going to add a brake light and forward and reverse direction and a couple other things to get everything all hooked up. So that is it for now. Once I get my orange cables that will plug into the drive unit, hopefully I'll be able to get this all cleaned up and actually get that motor spinning. Until then, stay charged up.